hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was going for Gates, his tight end that time, and that'll bring up second down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
He's got his man. It's Williams. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So 3 seconds here. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. So as they take it over, we step aside. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit. 3 points from the left hash. This from 34. And Lambeau will put this one through. So we've reached halftime here on opening. Jeez, don't you at least want your guys to get a drink of water? Probably pretty thirsty. Whatever, your wish, our command. Third quarter now. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy tossing in a certain way in the first half. And they've had you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace. Concentration in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop. Third down now following the run.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The veteran Andre Johnson, the target on that one. And fourth down coming up. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for San Diego.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
It's a gain of 7, and just like that, it's third down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him.
And now the rookie's free. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Chiefs have tied it, and they can take the lead with the extra point. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff, and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on, and as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs defense here, ready to head back out onto the field. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense. Who said, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. To throw is Rivers. Right side catch. This is Gates.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And they're pushed back after the penalty. Still second down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And his throw is incomplete. They were looking to go back to Gates, and now it's third down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. And some space here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Chargers a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Second down, Rivers. And that's complete to Gates. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Antonio Gates, 30 yards. And the Chargers have once again taken the lead. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws. They become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Throwing Rivers, and he's got it. So the try for two successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Smith. And that is incomplete here. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. 12 yards to go on third down.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get. And knock it away.
They come out here in the eye. On the ground, this is Ware. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So 2nd and 10 here.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop.
And now the ball's loose. loses it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They'll run now with Ware. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to battle it away.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon from 17 yards out. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll come out in the pistol. His throw incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Demetrius Harris, the intended target. Third down here.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Now Smith, and it's complete to Kelce. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
And there's a completion to Travis Kelce. I think he's starting to come into his own as a tight end and as a player, and that makes his quarterback, Alex Smith, really happy.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. James O'Shaughnessy, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able
it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin, 23 yards on the play. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Pass interference. Defense. The penalty is declined.
Santos now to add the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster. And now San Diego getting set to go. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Now Gordon on first down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that load in the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On 3rd down, Rivers shakes off the sand. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey, 63, that was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now here comes Kansas City. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, They're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing it.
They've got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And Hill with it over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
To throw is Smith, and he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill making quite a splash with his second touchdown of his NFL debut. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Chargers. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Throwing, Rivers. This is Johnson. He's got it. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding. for the flag. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A carry for a former Chief. This is Dexter McCluster. Losing 2 yards that time. And now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Dwight Lowry. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And now San Diego getting set to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And they will stop him after a fairly... And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Rivers finds his target. It's Gates. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. 1 man in the backfield is Gordon. And he'll get it up the middle. Down right around the 25. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along and control the... And that way you often control the game.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for San Diego, they begin what could be their final season in San Diego with a win. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.